Yo, it's good. It's Myles from Without Warning.
And it's your boy Noah.
And drafts have been trending like crazy. I'm sure y'all have seen them, but we're going to do a 2010s rap albums draft.
Yes,
you know
sir.
how it works. First overall picks. We're doing 10 albums, and we're going to get right into it.
For my first overall pick, no surprises here, no spoilers. I'm taking My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. We could debate Kanye albums all day. We have multiple times in the show, but I think it's his magnum opus. One of the best albums ever. Probably my favorite album of the 2010s, or the best one in my opinion. That's what I got.
My first overall pick has to be Good Kid, Mad City. I know a lot of people like To Pimp a Butterfly, but for my first overall pick, one of the best albums ever, period, I'm taking Good Kid, Mad City. I feel like you have to.
All right, for my second overall pick, this might surprise people coming in this early. I'm taking DS2 by Future.
Damn.
The reason I'm doing that, in my opinion, best trap album of all time, best Future album, coming at a time when he was undefeated in 2015. And I just had a feeling that was going to be in your next couple, and I had to have it on my team. So it went up early with the draft stock.
Damn, bro. I was close to taking it. I feel like there's so many to take right now for the second overall pick, but I'm going to take Yeezus. I don't think you were going to take it, but I need a Kanye album, and I didn't want to not get Yeezus.
All right, next one I'm taking is another one I got to get ahead on. I'm taking Die Lit by Playboi Carti.
Third overall for your team?
Third overall for the team, just because I know there's other ones people hold in high regard that I can get later as a steal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for us, that's like probably a seminal album for me. That I think the sound that he was creating with Pierre, he just found the peak of it at that time. It's a concise project. Every song holds up to this day. Maybe my favorite personal enjoyment, just feel good album ever.
That's a fair pick. I don't know if that was definitely high on my list, but for third overall for my team, I feel like I have to go Astroworld.
Valid.
Like, if we're also saying people are voting on this list, like, it's just too big of a, like, in 20 years when people look back at albums like Astroworld, it's just like too iconic to not take that early. When we're talking 2010s, later half of that decade, in my opinion, it was all Astroworld. Like, you're not going to be able to go back on this draft and be like, damn, I didn't draft Astroworld high.
For my next one, I'm taking 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and that's just for the reason that you can't disrespect J. Cole. He has to be on this list, and that's his best album.
You can disrespect J. Cole, in my opinion, but you can't disrespect how good 2014 Forest Hills Drive was to me. I think it's not what I thought you were going to pick at all. But with my fourth overall pick, I'm taking At Long Last ASAP.
Valid.
By A$AP Rocky. One of the best rap albums ever made, period. If someone took this first overall, I would understand. This is like my feel good, this album made my life album for real. Like, it's that good. Every song on this album goes insane. And if that wasn't in my team would have failed.
Shit, all right. For my next pick, I feel like you aren't going to pick two from this artist, so I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but just to be safe, I'm going to get To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick. For me, that's, I think, the best Kendrick album.
Yeah.
I just love the production. I think doesn't get talked enough because of just how potent all his lyricism was on it.
If you didn't take that there, I would have taken it next round for sure. I was deciding between that and Rocky, but I didn't know what you were going to take because that dropped, bro.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people would have picked that one or two, like, in their rounds, but it definitely dropped a little bit for us.
Because people are going to be like, oh, like, how'd you take, like, Die Lit, Astroworld before that and stuff. And I just, like, when I hear you give Good Kid, Mad City the first pick, I'm trying to be a little strategic with it. But at some point, he was just going to get stacked up with Kendrick's two best albums. So
yeah, that's a fact. My fifth overall pick I don't think you're going to pick this, but I have to pick Nothing Was the Same by Drake, obviously. His best album, in my opinion, probably has like 3 of his 5 best songs ever up on there. Furthest Thing, Too Much, just too many bangers on that album. Like, it's the problem with it, it's not so concise to the point where, like, you get what the theme of the album is, but when you break it down song for song, like, that entire album is so good. 2013, bro, you couldn't go anywhere.
There's hits on hits.
Without listening to this album.
Yeah. All right, for my next pick, I actually thought you were gonna take Care. I'm not gonna take Care. I'm gonna take If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. I also need a Drake album in there. And that's my favorite form of Drake is when he's talking his shit, bragging on trap beats, but bringing like kind of the moody sound that he made with 40 to that. Like I said earlier, 2015, Future was at the top of his game, and so was Drake. They collided. What a Time to Be Alive came out, blessed our ears. But I think the best project he dropped that year, and his best project, in my opinion, was If You're Reading This, It's Too Late.
So this is the 6th overall pick. I'm going to take an album that I think that you might not pick in the future, but again, I need for my team. I'm taking Joey Badass's All-American Badass.
Oh, shit. Now, I feel like you're a little bit ahead of me. I wasn't going to take that one, but we're thinking in the same ways now.
Okay. I wanted to make sure because that was probably like a top 5 most listened to album for me for the past like 5 years in total. I think that album's amazing. Like that's damn near a 10 out of 10 album. Like easily a 9 for me.
Yeah, that album's great. But like for my next pick though, I'm actually going to take 1999 by Joey.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was going to take a Joey album and like
there we go.
in this round, and then you kind of I was deciding between those two and you made the decision for me.
Yeah, they're both great.
Yeah, I feel like he really started to find his own sound more with Before the Money, and then really perfected it on All American Badass. But 1999 was just so raw with bars.
I feel like in another sleeper, bro, I'm going to need, bro, I'm just going to take Flower Boy by Tyler.
Fuck, that's a good one.
Yeah, I feel like you can't deny how good that album was. Like that shit just paints pictures, bro. Every song, like it's unreal. Of like just like you didn't think he was going there with that album whatsoever, and when it came out, just absurd. So I don't have any Tyler. I'm taking Flower Boy, which is my favorite Tyler project.
For my next one, I actually am gonna take Rodeo. So I need a Travis album on here.
Yeah,
and I always go back and forth between if I personally enjoy Rodeo or Birds more. But I don't know. I think the production on Rodeo is a little more diverse. Has higher highs, like songs like 90210, Pornography, tons of songs like that.
Yeah.
That I think stand above the best songs on Rodeo, or excuse me, the best songs on Birds. So I'm going to have to take that Rodeo, kind of Travis's maybe most iconic album, debatable at Astroworld now.
Yeah, I'm going to take Hendrix for the 8th pick on my team. That's my favorite Future album. I knew you probably weren't going to pick it after you picked DS2 pretty high, but to me, that's like a perfect trap album. Like one that I hold at a very high pedestal and essential for my squad.
For my 9th pick, I'm taking Faces by Mac Miller. For me, that's the best Mac Miller project. Almost entirely self-produced. He was finding new vocal heights on this, new lyrical heights, just all overall crazy creative, just letting you into the depths of his mind with the addiction and everything he had going on there. And just that moment that he had with all the people he was working with, like Earl, Vince, stuff like that, I don't think it could ever be recreated.
I feel like I have to go Swimming with mine. Like it's not my favorite Mac project, but it has like 3 or 4 of my favorite Mac songs ever on it, which I feel like most people can relate to.
Yeah, I think Faces is his best project personally. If I was going to take a different Mac one, like if you grabbed Faces, I probably would have snagged like Macadelic or Watching Movies with the Sound Off. Yeah. I just love that like middle career part of Mac Miller's.
I like that sad Mac Miller. It's unfortunate, but that's like just what I gravitate towards for my Mac music.
All right, man, my 10th pick. For a while, I was saying I need a Young Thug album on here.
Yeah.
And it was probably going to be Jeffrey. But upon further review, this list would not be complete without Chief Keef. So I'm taking Finally Rich.
I don't know. Like, now I don't have a Chief Keef project, but because he was so, bro, when you think of 2010s, like, he's the fucking guy.
Yeah, he's like the godfather.
He's a literal godfather amongst just, like, constant innovators. Like, he was 16 doing it. But I did not think that. I thought you were actually going to pick like So Much Fun or something. But with my 10th overall pick, we're going with the Carter 4.
Damn, I actually was thinking you were going to grab that.
It has, bro, that's my favorite Wayne project. If we're talking real shit, the Carter 4 might be one of the best rap albums ever. Like it's definitely in my top 5, bro. That album is just hit after hit after hit after hit. And like the cover is amazing. That era of Wayne when he was like working with like Drake and Young Money heavily too, with like Believe Me, everything going on there. It's too good of an album not to pick. And I think my team is stacked.
That's a solid last pick. I think my team is stacked too. You can let you in the comments decide whose team was looking better. I almost picked the Carter 4 way early.
I thought
because I knew it was
going
to come up for you, but I was like, I'm going to actually pick what I'm rocking with the most, although I do love that album.
Yeah. I listened to that album too much, is the truth. I had to take it. I thought it was going to drop, but that's a round out for the squadron. There are sometimes we didn't pick, bro. We didn't pick a fuck ton of great albums.
Yeah, I know. So let us know in the comments which albums you think we forgot. Let us know who you think got the best list. If you made it this far, we appreciate you a ton. Subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.